It's time for another sea story with Mr. Durite. Take it away, Mr. Durite. I think they're ready for it.
Welcome back to Sea Stories with Mr. Durite. I am your host, Mr. Durite, and today's show, the chief we love to hate. Oh yeah, this one goes out, and I'm already going to say his name. Normally I don't say people's names, but I already told him I was going to do it, and he said he was going to look out for it. Senior Chief Hawks. That man right there helped me out tremendously when I was in. But it didn't start off with this love relationship. It really started off pretty tough. So here's the story about Senior Chief Hawks and how it all went down, baby. How it all went down. Senior Chief came to the boat towards the end of my enlistment back in 2006 or so, maybe the end of 2005. And he came on board and he was taking the place of the no dia. Remember what no dia is. If you remember what no dia is, write it in the comment section below and help me, because I don't remember. Navigation something. I don't remember what the hell he was, right? He came on board to replace the no dia that we hadn't had for like over a year or so, right? Because the last one left and never had a replacement. Even though I really didn't know what the no dia actually did, except for come up with stuff, made us do it, and took all the credit. That's what I remember the no dia doing. But anyway, one day there's this new chief walking around the boat, and he is ragging on everybody about haircut. And the specific thing, he would jump on people's shit about their sideburns. That haircut looks a little long there. Them sideburns, you look like a hippie. Don't you think you need to get them sideburns cut? You looking a little shaggy there, huh? Where's Scooby at? He was jumping on people with the uniform regs. You had to have your ID, and the sideburn had to line up with your nose and all that stuff. Boy, he'll come out there and see somebody. I don't think these sideburns are Navy sack. He was jumping people's stuff. He even got on me. He was like, aren't those sideburns a little long? But senior, I got a fade. I don't have sideburns. I don't know. You need to go get that taken care of. That was his introduction to everybody, because I think he hit everybody on board about sideburns. I think the captain was coming down one day and he was doing like this, like, I don't think my sideburns is that long. That was our introduction. And so, first time out to sea, he had to reintroduce himself, but not necessarily with the sideburns. You know, he was getting on us on other stuff. And he got me one day. This was the start of my hate-love relationship with him. We were underway. We was field daying. I was in the fan room. And, you know, when I field day, I actually field day because, one, it makes the time go by faster. Two, it serves a purpose because we cleaning up the ship. Three, you're supposed to be 5S'ing, which looking for stuff out of place and stuff like that. And you get in the nooks and crannies. I understood it. That's one thing about me. When I went into the military, I understood what the military was about. So it was easier for me because, you know, I wasn't thinking this was fun and games and all this other stuff. So when I was field daying in the fan room, I was all back behind the fans, squeezed in between pipes and stuff. I got a big, gigantic stack of Kim wipes, and I'm cleaning up stuff. I'm cleaning up dirt, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm back there, and I'm squeezed between a fan and some pipes, and I didn't have this lovely figure that you see now. I was a little bit more robust, if you will. And squeezing between some shit wasn't fun at all. So when I'm squeezed between some shit and I'm cleaning and I'm not happy, I'm not happy. And I get into a bad mood. Two things that get me in a bad mood. When I'm doing something and it's really like uncomfortable, that gets me in a bad mood. And if I have to work with somebody that's not pulling their weight at all, pisses me the hell off. So if you put me in a cramped spot and give me somebody to work with that ain't worth a plug nickel, dude, I turn into the Hulk. Yeah, that's me all day long. Twice on Sundays. Enters Senior Chief Hawks. He comes into the fan room, he has his flashlight, he has his cup, and he says, what the fuck you doing back there besides fucking off? You know you ain't cleaning shit, you ain't doing nothing back there but sleeping. You need to get back there and do some real work. Remember I told you that I was in a cramped spot and that shit like pisses me off? So I get in a real bad mood. And then he came along and he said those words I just said. And I was already pissed off. So I did something that you wasn't supposed to do. I proceeded to start cussing Senior Chief Hawks out. I'm sorry. I'm saying to you now, sir, if I didn't say it before, I am sorry. But that is what I did. And I proceeded to say, what the fuck? What the fuck do you mean I ain't cleaning? Don't you see these goddamn Kim wipes? Don't you see this shit I'm cleaning? I can't believe you should say some shit like that. And he was just calm and cool about it. He sat there with that flashlight and that coffee cup. He said, bring your ass from back there and meet me in the chief's quarters. AS motherfucking P. All right, motherfucker, let's go. We gonna have this out. We gonna talk about this shit. I don't care. Let's get down there and stuff. So I go down there to the chief's quarters, and he's sitting down there at the table in the chief's quarters, and he had me standing at attention right there in front of the table and shit, and I'm sitting there, and when I say I was pissed, you ever been so mad that you be standing there and your legs start shaking? You looking like Thumper from Bambi. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I was sitting there, my leg was shaking. I was like losing, my knuckles was turning white. I was pissed. But it was other reasons why I was pissed, because man, he called me out. He called me out on my integrity. He called me out on my work ethic. And I was pissed about that too. It's like, man, he proceeded to chew me another asshole. And by the time he was done, I had about 5 or 6. Well, I see you sitting up there all mad and stuff and your legs shaking. You got something to say? Yeah, I got something to say. I say, you walk out this chief's quarter and you find the first 3 people you can find and you ask them who the hell I am, and they will tell you who I am and what I'm about and what I do around here. You don't even know me, but you question my integrity? I'm like, that's some messed up stuff. But I guess once I start getting it out, I was like, yeah, and you don't do stuff like that no more. And why would you say stuff like that to me, Chief? And I can't believe you did that, and you shouldn't do that no more. Maybe you shouldn't. That was our first confrontation, and it's not like I could avoid him because he was in my division. So it kind of made it sucky. You know how you mad at somebody, but you got to work with him, so you try to avoid him, and you don't look at him, you don't speak to him and stuff. But eventually you got to speak to him. And then eventually you got to stop being a dick and get over it and move on. And that's what I had to do. But he didn't do that. I mean, and he was a character, man. That dude was tough. That was the toughest senior chief or any chief that I knew in the Navy. And here's the part that he helped me. We would be on watch and he'll be the dive, and you'll come up there with your logs to get them checked by the chief of the watch, and he'll always have a question for you. And he always kept you on your toes, and he was always trying to help you learn and be better. And people didn't realize that. When he was jumping people about the haircut stuff, he was just setting his standard as soon as he walked on board. And, he was trying to elevate people higher than they were before, because you can always be better. And I started realizing that about him. That's what he was trying to do. And when we lost our chief, he became our division chief. And let me tell you something. The best thing you can have on your side is an asshole. Because if somebody giving y'all shit, the perfect person to give shit back is an asshole. And if he's if he's your chief, oh my goodness. People don't come to you with that nonsense no more. The Navettes can't get the charts done, and the Navettes shit is always broke. And he'll come over there and, what you say? And then next thing you know, people don't say shit to us. Like, those seniors right around the corner. You better not say that. Show made it a whole lot better for us. And you know what? He even said that one day. He said to us, he said, I know I'm an asshole, but I'm y'all asshole. And I was like, wow, this is finally the coolest thing I've seen on board, right? The main reason I love this man is because when you go into MEPS and everything, you get ready to sign your contract, and they do that little interview with you. Like, so what do you want to get out the Navy? People say, oh, I want this and that, this and that. Well, I said that I want to be able to manage resources and people. I want to be somebody that's in charge and everything, you know. But going into the Navy, I was a nice guy, man. I let people walk all over me, push me around and stuff like that. And Senior Chief Hawks taught me the most important lesson of my life: how to be an asshole. And I tell you what, that's not a skill that's easily learned. But you have to be an asshole if you want to be in charge. Because if you're not an asshole, people run all over you, piss all over you and stuff, and you can't get nothing accomplished. And that was the greatest lesson I learned in the Navy and from that man. And, you know, a lot of stuff I do, I model after him, you know, watching him and what he did. Because to me, he was the epitome of an asshole. And this might sound bad because I keep calling him an asshole and everything, but to me, it's a good thing, because I believe that you meet people throughout your life and you take a piece of that person with you and you keep it inside, and that person becomes a part of your personality. You know, if you only knew one person in life, you would probably be exactly like them. But as you go through, you meet somebody else and they do something that you like, or they do something that you don't like, and then you sit there and you say, oh, well, I'll never be like that, or that's somebody I really admire, I like how he did that, and you try to emulate that. That builds your personality and your character. And that man holds a big chunk of my personality. I wouldn't be able to be in front of this camera right now if it wasn't for that man, because he helped me break out of my shell and go from introvert to extrovert. You know, assholes are extroverts. They don't mind getting out there, getting in your face and telling you something. You know what I'm saying? And he helped me to get out here, get in front of this camera, tell y'all some stuff. Shipmates, soldiers, I don't care who it is. If you was in the military, man, I am your friend. You need something, I'm going to help you if I can do it. I learned that from him. You think he's an asshole, but really, he is a person just like you and me. You know, he has a heart and stuff, and he bleeds red, white, and blue like the rest of us, right? Man, I'm getting all emotional. My eyes sweating and stuff around here. These lights is hot. There's not a lot of people that you come across in your life that just inspire you and help you and, you know, guide you on your way. And this was a man that did, and I wanted to honor him by doing this video. And I'm going to put up a picture of him right here so you can see who Senior Chief Hawks is. Hey, Senior Chief, how you doing? I don't think he in no more. I think he retired. But, you know, you keep your title forever unless you was a seaman or a petty officer. I know a lot of y'all had these experiences, had these feelings, had these emotions, because, man, the military does a lot for us. I mean, yeah, it messes up in ways, but it also brings us together, teach us some stuff, teach us about life, teach us about ourselves and each other. Man, we got all of that. Now we can go out in the world, spread that knowledge to other people and spread these experiences and feelings. And that's why I do this video, so I can spread my love to all of y'all. I spread it on like some peanut butter. Give me a little bit of grape jelly. Put it on there. Put that bread on top of it. Delicious. Damn, I'm hungry now. I gotta stop this video so I can make me a sandwich. Hey, Cookie, what's for child? Well, we got cake and cocks, and we just ran out of cake. Let me wrap this up. I know I've been on here for a hot minute. Holy shit. Hell yeah, I've been on here for a hot minute. Let me wrap this up. Thank you for checking out the show, Sea Stories with Mr. Durite, with your fabulous host, Mr. Durite. Until next time, peace. So, there's my so. And I'm going to start saying so. You know, I can't help it. I'm going to work on it, but. You know, when you're going, who you are, that builds your personality.